afternoon. My name is Tim Lingg, representing architects and engineers for 911Truth. My colleague Jack Higginbotham is filming this event. We are signers of the petition demanding a new investigation of the destruction of the 3 World Trade Center high-rises on September 11, 2001. We have here a steel model of the North Tower with the plane that hit it. We now have 1,270 architect and engineer petition signers and almost 9,300 others. Collectively, our AE petition signers have more than 25,000 years of building and technical experience. This press conference is being given by our petition signers and supporters today in 65 locations around the world, including 30 states and 4 countries, with our founder, Mr Gage AIA, making a similar announcement at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. at 2 p.m. today. We're here to inform you that we have uncovered evidence that the official investigations into what happened to the World Trade Center skyscrapers on 9/11 were deeply flawed or worse. The scientific forensic facts we have discovered have troubling implications. For example, a technologically advanced, highly energetic material has been discovered in World Trade Center dust from the 9/11 catastrophe. This follows the discovery by the United States Geological Survey and others of high concentrations of unusual iron-rich microspheres in the WTC dust. These microspheres can only have been formed during the destruction of the World Trade Center at temperatures far higher than can be explained by the jet fuel and office fires. Those fires, we are told by engineers employed by NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, were allegedly the cause of the World Trade Center's destruction. The discovery of this advanced energetic material in the form of red-gray chips distributed throughout the dust both explains the iron-rich microspheres and confirms the inadequacy of the official account of what happened that tragic day. Even before the microspheres and red-gray chips had been identified and brought to our attention, we were deeply concerned about other aspects of the destruction of these iconic buildings and how they were investigated. More than 24 firefighters, engineers, and other witnesses reported seeing substantial quantities of molten iron or steel flowing like lava in the debris under all 3 World Trade Center high-rises. Office fires and jet fuel cannot possibly reach the temperatures necessary to liquefy iron or steel. A mixture called thermite, consisting of pulverized iron oxide and aluminum, can generate temperatures above 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit, far more than is needed to melt iron or steel, which melts at about 2,750 degrees Fahrenheit. The energetic material that was found in the World Trade Center dust by an international team of scientists led by Niels Harrit of the University of Copenhagen in Denmark and reported in the peer-reviewed Open Journal of Chemical Physics. It consists of nano-engineered iron oxide and aluminum particles 1,000th the size of a human hair, embedded in another substance consisting of carbon, oxygen, and silicon. The sizes of the iron oxide particles are extremely uniform, and neither they nor the ultra-fine aluminum platelets could possibly have been created by a natural process such as gravitational collapse or the impact of the jetliner. The red-gray chips in which these particles were found exhibit the same characteristics as advanced energetic materials developed in U.S. national laboratories in the years leading up to 9/11. They have no reason to be in this dust. Given all the horrific costs in human lives, lost civil liberties, and trillions of tax dollars spent in response to the official account of 9/11, there can be no more urgent need than for our country and the world to find out who put those materials in the World Trade Center and why. This need makes it all the more disturbing that top engineers in charge of the government's investigation would avoid dealing straightforwardly with all the evidence that the AE911 Truth and others have reportedly brought to their attention, much of which has been available in the public record since the beginning. John Gross, NIST co-project leader, has denied the public record since the beginning the existence of or even any reports of molten iron or steel at the World Trade Center. They stopped their analysis of the tower's completely and highly energetic destruction at the very point when the destruction began, and they have dismissed or avoided serious analysis of the additional evidence with which we are concerned, such as 1. Both twin towers were completely dismembered and destroyed in 10 to 14 seconds. For this to happen, all 47 of their massive core columns, as well as a large fraction of their external columns, would have to be severed with explosives beforehand. 2. More than 100 first responders reported hearing explosions and seeing flashes of light at the onset of destruction. Light flashes indicate explosive detonation. 3. Multi-ton steel perimeter wall sections were ejected laterally at 60 miles an hour to a distance of 600 feet. That speed and distance indicates that a high-pressure explosion initiated the ejection. 4. 90,000 tons of concrete and metal decking were pulverized in mid-air, again indicating explosion. 5. World Trade Center 7, a 47-story building which was not hit by an aircraft, came down in pure free-fall acceleration for more than 100 feet. A significant fact that Ms. Shyam Sundar was forced to admit after being presented with our research. Yet NIST has failed to review or acknowledge the obvious implications of this fact, which is that the columns must have been explosively severed within fractions of a second of each other. There are other errors and omissions in NIST's official report. 1. NIST overstated the severity and destruction of the fires in all 3 skyscrapers, apparently in order to more credibly attribute the destruction to the fires, yet without exaggerating them enough to account for molten iron or steel. 2. NIST and FEMA did not follow the standard procedures for fire and explosion investigation and test building debris for explosive residue. 3. NIST did not test for explosives when explosive demolition was the most likely hypothesis. 4. NIST's animated computer model of Building 7's destruction, showing the outer walls crumbling inward like a piece of foil, bears no resemblance to the actual collapse as seen in the videos. 5. NIST claims that the falling section of each of the twin towers above the jetliner impact zones crushed the intact lower section, but video analysis reveals clearly that the upper sections disintegrated in waves of explosion prior to any crushing of the lower section. This indicates that the top sections could not have been the cause of the destruction of the lower section. 6. NIST technical analysis into the twin towers collapses stops at the initiation of collapse. There is no technical analysis of the structural behavior of the building during the collapse itself. In response to our request for correction on this matter, NIST acknowledged that they were, quote, unable to provide a full explanation of the total collapse, unquote. There is much more, but I'll stop here. I urge you to go to our website, AE911Truth.org, for more information, including comments by our members on the problems with the official investigation. At this point, we are calling for Attorney General Eric Holder to ask a federal grand jury to begin an investigation of those responsible for this report, including NIST lead investigator Shyam Sundar and co-project leader John Groves. We'd like any and all reporters who will be covering this story to know that architects and engineers for 911 Truth are here to give you any technical support you need. Detailed information is available on our DVD, 911 Blueprint for Truth, The Architecture of Destruction, which is available on our website, AE911Truth.org. Finally, I'd like to thank the thousands of scientists, senior level members of military, intelligence and other government officials, pilots and aviation professionals, firefighters, scholars and university professionals, 9/11 survivors and their family members, and average citizens here and around the world for their continuing support. We also want to thank our growing family of more than 300 sustaining financial supporters. We could not do this without you. Now my colleagues and I will take your questions. Thank you.